What's happening, fam? L.A.R. movement still moving. Book is entitled Lessons from a Non-Custodial Father at Amazon, Kindle, and Create Space. Link will be in the description box below as usual. Go get it. PayPal, they also asked me to put it up, so I put it up. Thanks everybody for supporting. But this video, though, this video is entitled All Men Pay. For all you fellas out there, I need y'all to understand something. No matter how young you are, no matter how old you are, I don't care what pill you take. Ain't that a trip? But all men pay. Okay? It ain't tricking if you got it. No, it's tricking. It's just you got it. Because all men pay. If you're married, you're paying. If you're dating, you're paying. If you're getting to know somebody, you're paying. Whether directly or indirectly. You know? And this is one of the issues, you know, that some young men do have. Is grasping with the fact that you can't get around that you're going to pay. You're not going to pay everybody all the time, but you're going to pay a lot. You know, compared to how many times they pay for you, it might be every time. You know, but here's the reality of it. Women are socialized to think that men are going to do everything for them financially. To the point where they feel like they can go, I'm going to go out here and I'm going to get my own. I'm strong. I'm independent. I don't need no man. But he ain't a real man if he don't give me some money. It's just that ridiculous. And it is a ridiculous ideology to have. But that's the ideology. Men are socialized to be, look, you got to be a go-getter. You got to go out there and get it. And you got to pay the cost to be the boss. Now, depending on where you at in life, it could be viewed as a positive or a negative. Case in point. If you've worked yourself to a position where you got it like that, it's a positive. You get what I'm saying? Because you're not necessarily paying for her company. You're paying for you experiencing a good time and you just happen to have company. And some of y'all may or may not get that, but excuse me, but I'm going to break this down for you. When you're a busy person and time is of the essence, the last thing you want is to take your time out to be with somebody who is no fun, who ruins your fun, because you don't really have fun on a basis like other people do. You have to make the moments. So when you're making these moments, you're paying to look. This is where we going. It's gonna be great. You know how I know it's gonna be great? Because I'm paying for all this. You better shut up. You know, it's not said as explicitly as I just said it, but that's what it is. Look, dress nice, you smell nice, you're gonna look nice, you're gonna have a good time, you're gonna act like you got some sense, because I done paid a whole lot of money to have a good time. I ain't playing with you right now. You know, and only an idiot will argue with that position. There are a lot of idiots, because when you're a young man and you grow to a grown man, you come across a lot of idiots that like to ruin a good time, which sours you as you get maybe more established and older from even participating in shelling out for a good time. Now, even with the money, it could be negative, but you're gonna pay. What I mean by that is, you might get some people have so much money they sometimes go too far, or they're used to spending money, so they go too far, and they just outright offer, look, this is how much I'm giving you, that's what it is, and you don't really have a conversation or any type of connection with the person, so then it comes off as too much of a business deal, and it makes them feel like a prostitute. Yeah, it's low-key prostitution anyways, but they don't want to feel like a prostitute. You know. And then there's negatives. Like, See, people think, if you can't afford something, you have to have imagination. And this is part of the negative. When you have no income and no imagination. I see a lot of cats don't want to take that into consideration. See, money can pay for you not to need to have an imagination. But if you're broke, you need an imagination. You need to do some things, make it an event, you know. But the negative part about that is if you don't have an imagination, it goes bad. And if you don't have any money, you might try to date outside of your tax bracket. And this is where it sucks for some fellas. You can be broke, and a girl can be broke, but she has more access to wealth than you do because she's a female. And for one, but if she's an attractive female, she has, she can go on another level. She might not be able to stay there, but she could go there. The other thing about that is this. You can have a negative if you have money and no imagination to a degree, because the woman will look for excitement somewhere else with other people. Now she's gonna cut off her nose to spite her face when the guy finds out. But there are people who do this all the time. Oh, you made me feel like, okay, well, feel great with that dude that you went creeping with, but he don't have no money. Not my problem. Deuces. But that's how the cookie crumbles. But another thing about that is this. Some guys learn game to avoid ever having to pay. And nothing's wrong with learning the game part. But there's going to come a point where your energy is going to be a little too grimy, because you always trying to get over. And sometimes paying is not about the woman. And see, here's where some of you fellas might not understand this. Sometimes as a man, you just want to you want to be the boss, and the boss handles the check. That's it. The boss is the person that you call when you need things done. And some guys don't understand. You just want to be in a position where people understand that you get stuff done. That's it. It has nothing to do. It has something to do with the fact that I've grown. I'm a man. I'm established. I got myself together. And I understand the ideology of I'm the one that's going to get it done. Now, you don't have to have a bunch of money to have that ideology. You can have a little money and have that ideology. You know it. This video also was inspired by Nicole Michelle today, BGS and Kevin Samuels. Y'all need to subscribe to all of them if y'all haven't. But there came a point when they were talking about where, every man has a budget. No matter what woman you dating, you're going to have a budget for her. If you take a girl on a date, this is how much you're going to spend. Think about it, even when you was a kid and you asked your parents for money. They gave you a budget to what you would spend on a girl. So even they taught you the budget when it comes to spending on a girl before you actually really dove in there deep dating as a teenager or adult. So you got to date within your budget. Use your imagination. Your imagination can stretch $1, but still stay within your budget. Now, if you're trying to circumvent paying altogether, you're going to wind up in a bad situation. Because a scam artist is going to wind up with a scam artist. And here's the thing about paying also. And I'm going to end it after this. Some of y'all don't realize sometimes what you're paying for is to see her character. See, if you're dating, courting with somebody, and you're constantly doing something for them, and they just take, no thank you, no reciprocation, they let you know where you stand. take that lesson. If you paying and somebody appreciates it and they say thank you and they do things in their own little way to reciprocate, that's who you keep. See, because it's a bit, because you benefit them with your presence and they benefit you with their reciprocity. So sometimes you have to, all men pay, and sometimes you got to pay just to see the level of reciprocity a person has and how they rock with you. Because you don't go into the establishment and just shell money out and they treat you like trash. You know not to come back. But if you go to an establishment and you spend money and they treat you great, you constantly come back. You understand what I'm saying? So like, share, subscribe. Catch y'all on the next video. Peace. Uh-oh.